Hello everyone. In this video, we'll talk more on the hardware, hardware components. We discussed the types of components of the computer. Said there is the hardware and the software. So in this part, we will discuss more on the components of the hardware. So we'll start talking about the disk drives. Simply, these drives are simply described as a component that can be used to write or read data from or into a storage device. So these are the components, are the hardware components that are used to read. It means like used to identify the data that is from the storage device. Example, maybe a flash disk. Example, when you plug in a flash disk, you might notice that after some time you might see there it displays on the monitor that there is a flash that is put in to the computer. So what identifies that there is certain kind of that storage device, it is the disk drive. Now examples of such disk drives, the first one is floppy drive. This means example the 3.5 floppy, that could be A, or 5.25 floppy, that could be B. Then there is a hard disk drive, that is a local disk C. Then a compact disk drive, that is CD drive, that can be known as D or E. Then there is flash disk, that is a removable disk. So these are the examples of the disk drives. Let's talk more on the measuring memory capacity. Before we talk on the connective devices. So in this part, we discuss mainly about the memory measuring capacity. That example, when you are connecting the certain amount of amount. Example, you might see, we've noticed that they would be like bytes or megabytes. That's just a measuring of memory in the consumption of the data. But also even in storage, you might see maybe a flash is maybe 62 GB. That means that you 62 gigabytes. So what does it mean? What is the measurement of such memory capacity? So it is important to realize that the term digital computer refers to the fact that it ultimately the computer works in a binary number system. So the computer works in binary number system, different from us, where we, as humans, work by the digital number system. But the computer works in a binary number system. That is 0 and 1. So hence the measurement of memory capacity of a storage device is bytes. This means that it is strong form is binary digits. So there is where you get bytes. Now 80 bytes equals to 8 bits. I mean they are known as bits. So the 8 bits equals to 1 byte, and the 1 byte equals to 1 character. Now, if these bytes are gathered into 1024, they make up 1 kilobyte, and the 1024 kilobytes make up 1 gigabyte, and the 1024 megabytes MB make up 1 gigabyte, that is GB, and the 1024 GB makes up 1 terabyte, that is TB. So that's the measurement and the comparison of the measuring capacity of the storage devices. Moving on, let's talk more on the modem. This is a communication device. A modem is the bridge between the digital and the analog signals. Therefore, provides an interface between computers and telephone systems. So it provided the interface between the digital and the analog signals, as it provides the connection between the computer and the telephone. Because computer is digital and telephone is analog system. So we use a modem to connect PCs to ordinary telephone networking. That is the public switch the telephone network, or shortly as PSTN. So modem helps us to connect to public switch the telephone network in order to use it easily to connect to the internet. Moving on, let's see the memory. There are types of memory. The first one is random access memory. That is RAM. The second one is read-only memory. That is ROM. And the third one is the processor cache memory. So we'll see them one by one. Let's start with the main memory. This is the type of memory that can both read from and written to, and any location can be accessed independently. So this is why it's called the random access memory. So it can read from and be written to any location in the computer system independent. So this is the only memory used for storing programs and the data. So it stores the programs and data in the computer. Now the RAM is volatile. This means that it loses its components when the power to the PC is switched off, unlike the ROM, which is non-volatile. So RAM it just stores the data or the information temporarily. So it loses its components when you switch off your computer. Moving on, let's see the functions of the main memory, that is the RAM. First one, it stores programs, instructions, and data as long as the power of the computer is on. So the one that helps to store program, maybe if you've minimized the certain kind of window that was displayed, so it stores the memory until you come back to use it. Then it also stores instructions awaiting to be processed when you are doing activities, when you put some kind of instructions, or they put some kind of window or the program in pending to be processed. So it shows the instructions. Also, it stores instructions that the programs that are currently being processed. Also, it stores data awaiting processing, that is the data that can be still independent. Also, it stores data that is currently being processed. Also, it stores the intermediate results of processing, and it stores awaiting output. So this is the general memory that help you work out through your computer while the power is on. Moving on, let's see the ROM. This is the read-only memory. This memory stores the basic that the computer executes when they switch the on. These instructions are programmed by computer manufacturer. So basically, this is the ROM, it stores information more compared to the RAM. So the common user need not change anything there in case of need a ROM. So it is read only memory. That means that it stores the instruction based on the computer manufacturer. Example, a CD-ROM, you can only alter it once or edit it once. So if you try to edit it in another time, you can't, because it stores just for a given instruction programmed by the computer manufacturer for such a storing device. Now the common user needs to change anything there, so you can't change anything. Normally the computer memory is temporary, but is maintained by long life battery that outlive the lifespan of the computer itself. That is TMOS battery. So some of the operations controlled by ROM include the power and self-test, that is a positive booting procedure, that is loading of an operating system, and the other operations. So thank you for listening. I hope it's clear. We've talked more in this video on the hardware components. We've discussed on the disk drives. We've discussed about the modem, how how does it work. We've talked on the computer memory. We said there are three types of computer memory. That is random access memory, read-only memory, and the processor cache memory. We've talked on the functions of the RAM and the ROM. Thank you for listening.